So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is map number 1 of a best of 1. Because this is so hype. It's going to be amazing. It's a spectacular matchup, and it's in the first round of Go for SC2 Monday. It's going down on heavy rain, and in the top left-hand position as the red Terran player, playing for Team Acer, none other than MMA. And his opponent down in the bottom right, the blue Zerg, representing Roccat, none other than HyuN. A clash of two incredible players in this first round. My only regret is that they've met in the first round, and so it's only a best of 1, because my goodness, if this was a best of 3, it would be the hype of the entire evening. I have no doubt. I honestly could not be more excited about a game starting off. Always the first game of an evening is a bit of a warm-up for casters usually. Usually you're just like, I guess we'll get going, I guess we'll get prepared and start getting a little bit more hype as it goes on, get into the swing of things. But with these two, it's like I've suddenly been chucked back into like WCS casting. I'm just like, yes, this is going to be good times. So MMA and HyuN have a long-standing history of games up against each other. And for the most part, they go to HyuN. In the previous, of the games that I know about, and I looked up some stats quickly, which is why the camera wasn't moving much. Of the stats I've looked at recently, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games all went to HyuN. That's pretty impressive. It was a best of 3, best of 5, best of 3, best of 3, best of 3. Their map score between each other is pretty interesting. However, MMA is still favoured to take this game, but only just. So it's going to be very exciting to see exactly which way this is going to go. Anyway, HyuN, he opened, pull first, into hatch, just in case any sneaky shenanigans were coming down, any proxy raxes or anything like that. Being a best of 1, it wouldn't be out of the question to go for something risky along those lines. Scouting Overlord is going to see the Reaper on his way out. A second one is on the way though, so that basically means that we will definitely be getting a bit more pressure following this up. Most likely in the form of a factory coming down with a reactor powered down from that barracks in order to get 4 Hellions out to join the 2 Reapers to start harassing it up. The next big question is whether we see a third CC from MMA nice and fast. It's something that a lot of Terran players are doing, but for now, the Reaper just jumping up, HyuN, moving his queen, moving these lings, ready to trap it. Dare it try and jump up into HyuN's main. It's taking a decent bit of damage, but with combat drugs, will heal up damn fast if it avoids taking any fire for a couple of moments, as we see coming through there. Second Reaper is coming over, and note there is a third one on the way as well. This is a big commitment to Reapers from MMA. It's something that we are seeing a few more Terran players opt to do. Previously in the meta, you'd only ever see 2 at most into the Hellions, but a third one just being added in now, just for the real reason of forcing a couple more lings early on, potentially reducing the drone count that the Zerg player has, but it also means you can afford to lose one of those Reapers and still actually have a good follow-up push. So a couple of drones taking a few hits here. 2 go down. That's always nice. Early on, getting drone kills with the Reapers is a massive win for a Terran player. The Queen taking a bit of fire. So far, HyuN's been forced to make 5 lings already. Back they go, jumping down that little ledge there. More Zerglings. Not being forced. Just 5 drones coming out. HyuN happy to drone very much away. This Overlord in a beautiful spot to see precisely what's coming down, but doesn't actually see the third CC, nor does the second Overlord in there. These Reapers attempting to force back the creep tubers, but just don't have enough damage at the moment. Jump up onto the high ground, encounter a pack of lings, and jump straight on back down again. HyuN happily droning up though. He is already up to 41 drones. He is not bothered about these Reapers in the slightest. Is getting a good amount of gas income now though, as he is sitting up on 2 gases. Getting his third one down now, so this is quite a big commitment to gas. The Reapers for MMA doing a magnificent job of picking apart both queens and lings at the moment, dealing 400 minutes worth of damage while losing nothing. Always nice. Another drone goes down there, taking the total to 6, which is damn impressive. Nope, we've got 3 Hellions on the field. One probably died over here that I missed. Second one died. We've also got the Banshee coming down, so this is a very harassment-heavy style being utilized currently by MMA. And the reason he is being so aggressive is because at home, he cannot withstand a full frontal assault. He's going for a fast 3rd CC. He's going for a lot of tech. He doesn't really have anything to defend with. So he's got to keep HyuN on the defensive so that he is able to exploit these advantages and these risks that he's taking. The Queen's now taking a fair bit of a beating. HyuN doing everything in his power to try and stop them. But they're still just getting a lot of work done. The Hatchery is actually taking a significant chunk of damage. He's only at a quarter health here. And for the moment, HyuN doesn't have an answer to it. The creep is not pushed far enough out. Zergling speed is not done. He doesn't have an easy way to surround this group of units. And now with the Banshee coming in too, that is even further amounts of damage that can be dished out very quickly by the Terran player. Quick transfuse comes down on one of those queens, keeping it alive. Nicely done there by HyuN, who's amassing a few more Zerglings off to the right. MMA though, he should be feeling pretty confident. He's ahead now in SCVs. He's adding in 2 more factories, so he's going for a mech style build. But HyuN now, with speed finish, starts pushing out, but also goes for a counter attack. That could be deadly. The wall-off is down luckily though, so MMA shouldn't have too much to worry about there. Still poking, still prodding, knows there's not that many lings in position. But HyuN able to trap a couple of units there with those speedlings. Meanwhile, at the natural base, about to take down a supply depot. Does get it, loses most of the lings though in the process, and 1 drone for good measure. MMA continuing on with this pressure. He's now killed 11 workers. The resources lost, double the resources lost by HyuN compared to MMA. A decent number of queens down. The 1-1 melee upgrades nearly completed. The Spire busy on its way through. Gets scouted though by this Banshee, which is racking up a few more kills here. Overlord attempting to gunk up that 3rd base. Isn't going to get much chance to do so though. However, moves across to the side, out of range. Actually goes on hull command there in order to generate this creep. HyuN calculated that sacrificing this Overlord to get more creep spread is definitely worthwhile. Delays the 3rd base by quite a while, and therefore HyuN content to do it. Interestingly though, that does supply block HyuN, and he does not have any more Overlords in production. Surprised he let that die, but with the hull command it was definitely calculated. So the Banshee, the Hellions, and the Reapers still threatening, still being a right nuisance. Are they going to be able to get much else done though? Because the units for HyuN are really starting to rack up. He's got a fair few Zerglings with the 1-1 upgrades. He's got his Baneling that's coming through, and a Spire nearly finished. Meanwhile, MMA, the 1-1 mech upgrades nearly completed. The Blue Flame upgrade, about a 3rd done. So he is going for a very heavy Hellion composition. And with that +1, with that Blue Flame, it's going to be fairly powerful. But for the moment, no anti-air other than that 1 Marine. There are 3 Thors coming through though. But they've got to get out fast, because Mutalisks are soon to hit the field. And that's going to really help HyuN start putting the pressure back on MMA. HyuN got his 4th base on its way up now. MMA already completed his 4th and about to finish morphing it in to an orbital command. Hasn't yet floated it down, but I suspect the lift will come fairly soon. The sheer volume of units now for MMA starting to get a bit scary. However, the Mutalisks making some progress. Picking apart anything that strays a bit too far forward. Missile turret getting manually controlled to stop targeting the Overseer. Does take down a Mutalisk, and that's a nice little pick off there for MMA, who adds in another missile turret at this 3rd base. HyuN, with the 4th, nearly complete, is still in this game. Their work supplies about where they should be, 73 to 63 in favour of the Zerg. But HyuN needs an answer to this mech force, and he's going to be looking for that in the form of something from this infestation pit. With the 1 +1 missile attack. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see some swarm hosts. It's a really nice strategy against mech. That slow siege can really lock it down. Could also be for some quick hive tech in order to go Vipers, also an effective strategy. However, at the moment, just a few Hellions getting picked off there by HyuN, as MMA attempts to get a few more worker kills. Succeeding in doing so at the 4th base, always nice to take that down, and HyuN is going to be going up to those swarm hosts. Enduring Locusts on its way down. He's got the +1 missile attack nearly complete. But MMA isn't going to be allowing that to come through as he comes charging across the map. We're 15 minutes into this game now. And I have to remind you at home, this is a best of 1. And MMA is going for it. The Thor's getting some massive shots down onto those Mutalisks. The splash damage devastating as they are clumped up. The Rock's taken down, buying HyuN valuable seconds to try and get out a few more swarm hosts. Is it going to be enough time? That's the big question. The tank count only sitting at 3 with this push for the time being. But HyuN is certainly in some problems. His 3rd base being evacuated, he knows that that is lost. The Locust though starting to make progress. The Hellbats attempting to tank up some of the damage while the Thors dish it out. A few Vikings in the air to make sure that there's nothing too scary coming through. The swarm host count though ever increasing. MMA piling on this pressure now. HyuN microing these swarm hosts as best he can. Burrow and Burrow backing away through the safety of that Locust line. But MMA making very good progress here. This is a beautiful timing push coming down from the Acer player. Another wave of Locusts coming from the side, but the tank count now up at 5. With the 2-2 mech upgrades, it's looking very good. The Infestation Pit falls, preventing further swarm hosts from being produced. And everything is looking very, very nice from the Rockap. From the Acer player, Rockap, HyuN is going to be running into probably a dead end here now. Once this natural base goes down, it's all but over. He just won't have an economy to make this last. Sure, he's got a 5th down to the bottom left, but MMA, 118 army supply compared to 61. A few Mutalisks doing anything they can, but with the Viking support in the air, up against just so few Mutas, it's going to be in vain. One lone Hellbat being a tad bit of a hero, taking down a lot of drones. The natural base fallen, the Spire about to die too. And everything is going exactly how MMA would have liked it. Resources lost this game, nearly triple for HyuN compared to MMA. And while a few Mutalisks are coming out, there is just so many Thors here. The Vikings even able to deal with them in such low numbers. GG is called, and MMA advances over HyuN in the first round of Go for SC2.